This strange situation has been reported by Dr. Story Musgrave. The story is one of the most interesting about sightings in space. This retired NASA doctor claimed to have seen a white snake. Its length was about 2.44 meters. But what's even stranger is that he saw it floating in space. Some have asked him if it really was a snake or space pollution. For example, a hose that had come loose and started floating because of the lack of gravity. However, Dr. Musgrave is very confident about what he saw.
Okay, there's a doctor who went to space and he saw a snake. Literally, this is getting worse and worse for me because snakes are one of my biggest fears, right alongside spiders, snakes. Spiders, snakes, the ocean, space. All my biggest fears, and now they're all coming together in one location. I swear to God, if the next person's like, there's an ocean in space, I'm just crying. That's over. Well, I guess there is an ocean in space because there's an ocean on our planet and that's in space. But imagine just floating in space, then a wave comes. But that doesn't happen. But how does space happen? Like, I say like a rogue wave can't come, but now I'm like, how are the planets here, you know? How's a planet here? How's it floating? Like gravity, we know gravity, but it does not make sense to me. Nothing makes sense about space. It's completely irrational.
Roughly 150 to 250 million light years away from our own Milky Way galaxy lies an anomaly known as the Great Attractor. A cute name like that betrays just how horrifying this thing is. Its massive gravitational pull is enough to send entire galaxies its way, where they then collapse upon themselves, and very likely we're on a collision course with it. Remember, nothing in space sits still, and that includes the Milky Way. Our galaxy zips through space at 1.3 million miles per hour, and because the Great Attractor is so gravitationally powerful, we are headed right toward it.
Chris, you're in for a treat, because you didn't hear what he just said. There is something called the Great Attractor. It attracts galaxies, as you would expect, except it destroys them. You get attracted into its little atmosphere, and then it crushes you. And guess what? Our galaxy, the Milky Way, heading right for it. So before you know it, we're just gonna go. It could happen now, like that's the thing. And this dude's like, we're always moving. Apparently we're moving right now. We don't even know. I feel like I'm standing still. But we're moving in space.
This story was told by Neil Armstrong, the famous astronaut who first stepped and walked on the moon.
Neil!
Despite being accused of being a fake visit to the moon, the story this astronaut told is fascinating. It happened on the famous Apollo 11 mission in 1969. After the lunar landing by Armstrong, NASA confirmed that he lost contact with the crew. This for about 2 minutes. However, NASA has revealed that it received secret messages from the astronaut. These describe a strange situation where there were 2 huge babies, something incredible to interpret. It was apparently another spacecraft that landed on the opposite side of the crater. From there, it seemed that they were watching the Earth.
Huh? I'm sorry, wait. That whole thing did not make sense to me. As soon as he said there were 2 huge babies, but then there was another spacecraft watching Earth. Whose spacecraft was that? The big babies? Who was the 2 huge babies? Where did the 2 big babies come from? I'm envisioning 2001: A Space Odyssey here. Which, did that come before or after the moon landing? If it came after the moon landing, then Neil, my man Neil, told Stanley Kubrick and was like, there's a big baby in space. And then he put the big baby in the movie, because there's a big baby at the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey. A giant baby in space.
Astronomers realized a few years ago that the star had been dying and coming back to life for months. They decided to look into it further. Typically, when a star dies, explosively, it will keep a nice bright glow that remains after the burst for around 100 days. This star, however, kept going for a full 600 days. That's not even the craziest part, though, because when they looked into it, they realized the star had been reported to die in 1954, and it kept dying and reviving ever since. It's a Frankenstein Star.
Oh my God, this guy's voice, I can't deal with it. He thinks he's a comedic genius. It's a Frankenstein Star. This star is literally just dying and coming back to life, dying and coming back to life. Like, respect to it, it's like a zombie. But just die at this point, just go. Like, I don't even know who you are. I don't know what star you are. I can't look in the sky and go, there you are, dying and coming back.
Eridanus supervoid, also known as the Great Void, is an entirely empty space in, well, space. The size alone, 500 million light years in diameter, makes it the largest thing to be discovered by NASA. To put it in perspective, imagine that you're sitting in an empty room, but there's no floor or walls or any sort of matter around forever. There's no escape. Is there an opposite of claustrophobic? Because that's the exact feeling this type of endlessness induces. The bizarre truth of the matter is, scientists have no idea how this void even happened.
This gives me so much anxiety. It reminds me of a black hole, but it's apparently not a black hole, it's a great void. I don't even want to think about it. It gives me so much... I can feel my heart beating faster than it already was, because I have one of those. Some people think I don't. I can't even picture just being in, like, amongst nothing. Chris, imagine darkness, just black around you everywhere. There's no floor, ceiling, walls, just you floating by yourself. Black. No matter, just you.
Our very own sun. Occasionally, the sun emits gigantic solar flares that can generate cosmic solar storms. These storms cause catastrophic levels of UV radiation and energy to hurtle hundreds of millions of miles from the sun's surface in a matter of seconds. If any of these storms come Earth's way, the radiation and energy would likely be enough to disable and destroy all things electric. Goodbye internet, GPS, TV, and artificial lighting of any kind. We would instantly be plunged back into pre-technological times, relying on whatever heat and light Earth decides to provide for us and nothing more. It would likely take years to recover, and the cost would be trillions of dollars.
Honestly, I think we need something like this to happen to the Earth. Just like the sun to blast, wipe all electronics and technology off the face of the Earth. We start from the beginning, cavemen, and then we go from there, because we kind of suck at the moment with everything. We are kind of the worst. It's like the show Revolution. That was the whole purpose. Got cancelled after season 1 though.
Terrifying vortexes, straight out of the interstellar realm, can travel and suck up anything that gets in their way at a speed of, get this, 5 million kilometers per hour. That's like a space tornado on steroids. During a collision or merge with a separate galaxy, both of these types of black holes could move to the outer parts of one galaxy and into another. Those supermassive black holes, with up to 10 billion times the sun's mass, are thought to be in the center of most galaxies. We don't have one in the Milky Way, but we also don't want one.
I don't like that. It's black holes now. We're on to black holes. We went to the Great Void, to the black hole, and it's like a super tornado. Ugh. I don't like it. Space really triggers me, and why I'm filming this video, I don't really know. Don't like anything to do with space. Anything larger than I am, and I'm pretty small, you know? I don't want to think about endless. Think about space. It doesn't end. There is no end. There's no end. There's no wall. It just goes on forever. It goes on forever and ever.
You wouldn't want to get caught on HD 189-733b.
This planet?
On the outside, it looks similar to Earth, but any space traveler caught on this planet would have to endure the fatal weather with winds up to 4,500 miles per hour.
This guy's voice.
To put that in perspective, Tropical Cyclone Olivia, known for having the highest recorded wind speeds, clocked in at around 253 miles per hour. Doing the math, that's roughly 1/18th as strong. Even if we could sit through that, anytime we had to endure a rainstorm, we'd be succumbing to space torture.
I'm okay not living on this planet. Also, I don't want to live on a planet I can't pronounce the name. H183321, whatever. And any kind of wind almost blows me over, so this one would just blow me off the planet. Not safe for me, a little short person.
So the story told by astronaut Yang Liwei is amazing. It happened on an expedition in 2003. This astronaut was one of the first to be sent into space by the Chinese program. While sitting in his shuttle, he reported hearing a thump. According to his description, it was as if someone was outside the ship hitting it. It sounded like it was an iron object. But it didn't all stop there. The great thing about this story is that this man was not the only one to experience the sound of a blow to the ship. So did other Chinese astronauts between 2005 and 2008.
Wow, okay, astronauts in space hearing thumps on their ship like someone's knocking, trying to get in. Is there sound in space? Valid question, I feel. Is there sound in space? Space is a vacuum, so it generally doesn't carry sound. That's what I thought. So the fact that they heard a thump, pretty concerning. Pretty scary stuff.
These lights were seen by Leroy Chiao, an astronaut who commanded the International Space Station in 2005. What's interesting is that he wasn't the only one to have seen them. His crew confirmed the same thing. They were strange lights in space. The description Chiao gave was pyramid-shaped lights. The sighting occurred as the lights flew past them.
So lights in space. Okay, this makes a little more sense because you can see light in space, right? I don't want the answer. This has to be UFOs. Or aliens. Or it's just like an explosion of a star. Like, this makes more sense to me. Anything to do with noise does not make sense to me. Anything to do with the great voids doesn't make sense to me. Snakes in space, can't get behind it. Giant babies in space. Makes sense because Stanley Kubrick told me about it. So now I understand. Well, there we have it. I'll see you in the next one. Or will I? I don't go here anymore. I wonder when. Yeah, like it happens right now. And I'm like, oh sh. And then sh. But no one will ever see this video. So I won't even be able to. Like, I'll only know. But I won't know because I'll be dead. But I won't know, you know? We'll know, but we won't know. We'll know, but we won't know because you can't think about not being here because you're using your brain. But when your brain's gone, you're not thinking. So you can't think about not thinking because you're thinking. Yeah, but your soul doesn't have a brain. Soul to soul. My soul has a brain. Should I keep going? 5'3". Me. A little short. Okay, are there still intros? I don't even know. It's not even my channel anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I was gonna make a joke about something else, but not about that. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, let's just keep that over there. Let's keep that with you. Hold on, let me fix my hair.
Should I say the joke one more time?
No.
Yeah.
Go on, say it fully. I don't understand meditation, like, at all. I also forgot I got a tattoo and I just scratched. And she specifically said, don't scratch, but I was like, forgot. Forgot it's there. It's already scratched, deed is done. I'm gonna scratch off. That's how it works. I can just scratch off. Bye. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next, oh wait.